Awesome. Okay, guys, welcome to another Q&A. I have Ashley. How do you pronounce your last name?
Kinkead.
Kinkead. Okay, I always wondered that. This is our, I think, second or third conversation. I'm very curious. Obviously, I know you now and know what you run, but just to introduce you to our community and our audience, who is Ashley and what does she do?
Hi, Argan. Well, thank you so much. I love getting to speak to women and men around the world who have e-commerce businesses. E-commerce has been very impactful for me, allowed me to do a lot of amazing things over the years. So I'm an open book. I'm excited to share my story and the kinds of products I've launched and answer any questions as well. So thanks for having me, Argan. Excited to be here.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, how long have you been in e-commerce, and currently what is your main priority when it comes to running a business in e-com?
Sure. So I started my e-commerce journey in 2015 through selling on Amazon FBA. This was back when things were so different on Amazon. Amazon is always changing so much, the requirements and the right kind of sellers and the right kind of products and what works in the marketplace. But I started my e-commerce journey on Amazon FBA. That was my very first online business. I'm really grateful for that because I think even today, there's just so many opportunities that don't work for people or just have really low success rates. And I still really believe for most people that Amazon FBA is kind of the most foolproof and fastest way for a lot of people to make money online today still. But I started selling on Amazon as a bookseller, used books, sold tens and tens of thousands of used books on Amazon, started off with just one single book, realizing the ROI that could be made with book selling. And I actually grew a pretty large operation here in Dallas, had a whole team, a staff of people that would prep and ship used books to Amazon FBA warehouses, got up to over 10,000 books in my FBA inventory at Amazon. Did that for a couple of years, quit my full-time job because of it, and had several local staff, like I said, packing and actually shipping those books to Amazon. Was a lot of fun, but as you know, Argan, it's a lot of work too. So it became a lot for me to manage. So I switched over to Arbitrage on Amazon, buying things at places like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, outlets, Nike stores, those kinds of places. Primarily switched my business to Arbitrage on Amazon. Then moved over to online arbitrage, which is the online version of Arbitrage websites. Places like Nike.com, Walmart.com, Target.com, DollarTree.com, reselling in that way. Built my business to millions of dollars with online arbitrage sales using a prep company. And then I moved over to private label and I launched 2 private label brands called Blasique and Soap Naturals in the arts and crafts category and in the beauty and health and personal care categories on Amazon. So took my inventory down from about 15,000 different listed products on Amazon down to about 9. So it was really a big change in my business. And then today I've launched a program called Private Label Mastery. We help women do the exact same thing, but I'm kind of a multiple income stream entrepreneur. I do different things in e-commerce, but it all got started with Amazon. That's really been always my big business and what I love to talk about. So
Nice. That definitely sounds like a similar journey to myself and also a lot of other people. Like you said, as this game is evolving, seems like year by year, even 3 months, quarter by quarter, things are changing. Going from RA, OA, and then private label, that it does seem like the journey for a lot of sellers that started back in the. I'm curious, do you still see RA and OA, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, being viable business models today? Is the shift gone fully or primarily into private label? What are you seeing with yourself, your students, your clients with that shift?
I do. I'm amazed, Argan, when I talk to people every day who have really big businesses with arbitrage. I personally think it's pretty difficult to be an arbitrage seller in 2022. I think you have to be really good. Back when I started, I don't think you had to be that good. You could find products everywhere. There was just so much money to be made. Everything was ungated. everything was approvable. These days you have to have kind of be like in the top echelon of people who know how to do that. And you have to be really persistent, like getting through approvals and those kinds of things. So it means there's more opportunity at the top, I think, today for those top people. Like they're really crushing it. But if you just kind of want to be a casual arbitrage seller, I think it's a bit difficult. But just the other day, I talked to a gal bringing in $60,000 a month, 100% arbitrage by herself. And I thought that was incredible. And she just started a couple months ago. So there's definitely an opportunity. I think it depends on your lifestyle and kind of your goals and how you like to source and where you live. I live in Dallas, like huge retail opportunity, biggest retail city in the country, I think. So now if you live in rural Wyoming, you may not be able to do, you may have no choice but to do wholesale or private label, or if you're homebound, or if it really just depends on your lifestyle and what you like to do. Some people love the sourcing, they love the stores and the scanning and the shipping and all that stuff. And some people aren't into that. So I think it just depends on your goals. I think at the end of the day, it's good to know how to do a couple different things on Amazon. Kind of like a plumber, you have different skills. You can carpenter, you have different ways, levers that you can pull on Amazon. So it doesn't hurt to know how to source in different ways. But ultimately, I do feel the end game in 2022, if you want to build a multi-million-dollar business, that's an asset, that's a little more safe and something you can actually create and sell. I do think you need to at least look into private labeling, having your own brand. It's just, there's a lot of really good things that happen when you have your own private label brand registry, being able to create assets, being able to expand your brand onto websites, just a lot of good things that I think are important in 2022. So.
Well said. I think I agree with you. There's still opportunity, and I never thought about people being from different locations and maybe not having access to large clearance distribution centers, large retail stores. So maybe RA won't work for some people, but they might have time and opportunity to do different things. And maybe it's person to person too, where you kind of take inventory of your skills and understand, hey, am I good at coming up with new designs, or am I a creative, or am I operations person? There's a lot of factors that go into it, and I think taking that personal inventory helps as well. Okay, that was great. How about currently for yourself? Like, are you still doing Amazon for yourself? Is your mission and the passion shifted into a different company? And I know you said you're entrepreneurial in multiple income streams. What's kind of the mission and that purpose that is driving you every day now?
Well, interestingly enough, I still sell on Amazon, but my passion has shifted more so to helping other people get to do this, just because that's where I feel I can make the most impact at this time. So my mission is to help people follow the same story that I've followed and achieve that same level of success that I've achieved. So really over the years, as you become successful doing something, Argan, you start to kind of reach a point where you want to teach and help other people. Other people want to learn from you as well, your strategies, your systems, your blueprints. So you start to realize that's where you as an entrepreneur can have the biggest impact, is by helping other people go on that journey with whatever that looks like for them. So today, primarily, my primary business is private label mastery, the tools, the systems, the softwares, the support that we provide sellers. And it's amazing. It's incredible. I don't know about you, Argan, but I feel that I was reading some Amazon seller statistics the other day, and people ask me all the time, is it too competitive on Amazon? Is there still products to sell on Amazon? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is absolutely yes. Every single day, we launch products and we see those opportunities for new sellers to come in, for new products to be launched. So in a really interesting way, as the marketplace grows, the customer base is also growing as well. The demand for products and e-commerce is growing as well with COVID and everything else going on. I really still feel we're at the cusp of e-commerce in a way. Most people still don't shop on Amazon, crazy enough, in the United States. So there's just a lot of opportunity for people to do this. So my mission is to empower people to change their lives through selling on Amazon, through e-commerce, through building brands. So I'm really passionate about it just because I built my brands, and it's allowed me to do so many things that I otherwise would not have been able to do over the years.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I clicked the wrong button. You were saying there's still a lot of opportunity.
There is, absolutely. I don't know about you, Argan, but every day I like to go on Amazon and look at different product ideas, look at different opportunities. There's so many products that aren't on the Amazon marketplace that could be there, that literally aren't listed, or opportunities for improvement, opportunities for bundles, for multi-packs, for better listings. So if you can be like that kind of seller who thinks in that way, in a bit of an advanced way, there's always going to be opportunity for that entrepreneur.
I see. And I apologize again. There's a call that came through. I clicked answer, but I took it to voicemail now. Moving to a different, I guess, making it a little personal. Like, what luxury has e-commerce provided for you? And has there been any other business, career, I don't know what you were doing in your past life before 2015, but is there any other vehicle for business that has provided you that luxury and that freedom that FBA has?
I think the biggest luxury is just my time, feeling like when I wake up in the morning, that's my day. That's my time. I can work all day if I want to, or I don't have to work if I don't want to. I used to be a substitute teacher, nothing glamorous, nothing fancy, didn't make much money. So I definitely didn't come from a really high earning background by no means. But I didn't get paid if I didn't go to school. So that was the bottleneck for me. And I know a lot of people watching this, like, you have a salary. To go off on a tangent, today's salaries aren't working for people. They're not working for most people. The cost of living is far exceeding most people's earning potentials in day jobs. So even if you have a day job, I don't see why you wouldn't want to have a multiple stream of income, at least, to be able to, really give yourself that cushion. But what kind of luxuries has it given me? Just my time. That was what I really wanted to regain when I started on Amazon, because I was working 60, 70 hours a week, 2 or 3 jobs. And I was looking for a way to not necessarily get rich or to get super wealthy, but to be able to go have a vacation, to be able to see my family. Like, those are the things that really just got me so excited about e-commerce. And it was okay. I didn't mind the work. I didn't mind the shipping. I didn't mind all the stuff I knew was in it for me, as long as I was in control of my time. So, and as I've grown my businesses over the years, I valued that even more, because as a solopreneur, your time is your leverage, where you can do things, where you can help other people. So I would say time on a more material basis, just like the ability to support myself. Everything I have in my life comes from money I've made on the internet, which is crazy. My homes, my cars, my bills. So I'm not someone who's super into super fancy things, but having that security, having that savings. I've never had a 401k before I had an Amazon business, things like that. Just as a baseline has really been life-changing for me. But just, again, the time, I think it's so great, again, just to be able to wake up and feel like, okay, today's my day. I can do what I want to do. If I want to grow a big business today, I can. If I want to take a day off, Amazon sales are still coming in. So
yeah, I like that. And I don't ask this I'm curious myself, and then I want our audience to just know on an individual level. But again, every single person and their business is going to be different. Before I got into business for myself and e-commerce, I always thought, okay, I do want my own time. I'm not going to do specific tasks, and no one's going to tell me what to do. But it went from a 9 to 5 mentality of other people telling me my tasks and what to do to 24 hours. You have to get stuff done. So every person is going to be different. And then again, I'm not asking this so to make anyone feel bad that they are 9 to 5, or that maybe you're running your business. So a lot of people start their business and then become a slave to their business. So again, it's just to find out how you're operating and what I can glean from it and what everyone else can glean from it as well. So that's very helpful. I think running your own time and being able to make decisions for the business independent of everyone else's is very key. I'm very curious on PL mastery. What is your goal and the trajectory of where you want to take that? And yeah, kind of what's your ideal position for PL mastery? If you could snap your fingers and say, I wish we could have this or that, what would it be for PL mastery?
That's a great question. If I could snap my fingers and see where I'd love us to be, we want to be an industry leader in helping people start Amazon businesses. So we're not a really big program, but we want to obviously service our clients and help them realize amazing success on Amazon and on different platforms. So that's our vision of where we're headed, being a world-class leading premium Amazon education program. So we especially do that with private label products. So it's a bit different. We don't just, teach selling anything around your house or making just a few $100s on Amazon. Most folks we work with are building pretty significant Amazon businesses. So 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. So that's the vision of where we're headed. We primarily work with women, which is really unique, Argan, because I was reading a stat the other day that only 10% of online CEOs are female, which I think is probably pretty accurate, even on Amazon FBA, interestingly enough. So I love to see just women from corporate America realize something like e-commerce, or even men, because it's really powerful when you can realize, okay, if I take these skill sets and this work ethic and this drive that I've been putting into something else, and I apply that to my own thing, the potential is unlimited. The scaling is unlimited. So we essentially, help people, provide them with resources for getting started with Amazon. Even if they've never done this before, there's a really simple path to follow to get a product launched. But I think you know this as well, Argan. In 2022, you have to have a plan to do that pretty well. It's a very competitive marketplace. So you want to make sure you're in the right niche and you're launching products correctly, most importantly.
Yeah, well said. I think men and women today might be a little hesitant, or, first of all, again, I think the biggest axiom is like, know yourself. Some people are intrapreneurs instead of entrepreneurs. Some people rather have someone else start the business and then they can go and crunch and crush every single task that needs to get done. So maybe it's a husband and wife couple, duo, dynamic power super couple that can get that done. But how do you guys support? Is it a completely do-it-yourself style program? Is it a done with you program? Do you guys have done for you elements? I know you mentioned some software and service providers. Walk us through, if I want to sign up, or me and my wife, my non-existent wife, want to sign up. How do you guys help us get over that hurdle, get over that mental block, maybe of, I don't know what product, I don't know how to launch, outside of just going through the material? What do you guys, what hurdles do you guys take away, and how do you help?
Well, there's a couple things I think people bring to this process. Like you said, one is just fear of it not working out. Oh my gosh, I'm going to invest this much money. I don't know if I'll have a good product. What if my product doesn't sell? We really fix that fear a couple ways. One is we have our own product research tool that is proprietary to our team. So if you come into our program, you're going to have access to a tool that you can't get anywhere else. And it helps us just to really quickly vet and filter products, unlike using Jungle Scout or Helium 10. Those are great tools, but everyone's using those tools and it takes forever to research and select a product just using traditional software. So we have our own internal product research tool for one. We also just really believe in quickly launching products and testing them in small quantities, again, which is a little bit different than what most people do on Amazon. So we've launched thousands and thousands of private label products now using our 3x2 method. So we launched 3 products at once and we scale them rapidly over 30 days and then move forward with 2 out of the 3 winners, or sometimes 1 out of 3 winners, or sometimes 3 of the 3 winners. But we just always are testing new products in the Amazon marketplace. Data is our friend. So we help people just quickly move through that process and to understand you don't have to invest $20,000 into a private label product launch these days. You absolutely don't. We've seen it done with as little as $1,000, including pay-per-click, including samples, including your testing, all those things. So I think it's important just to dive in, to have a plan of action, to know you're selecting a really good product, and to also have someone over your shoulders to do it with you. So we do it with folks. The success rate of just watching a YouTube video and launching a product on Amazon is kind of low. So actually having a team to make sure that we're vetting your product, we're making sure it's going to be effective. And then as well, just a team of accountability groups. We have accountability groups in our program, helping people be accountable to the rest of their team members. Those are really key as well. But again, what I often find is people coming from 9 to 5s, like you said earlier, like they struggle with kind of taking that hat off. And okay, no one's telling me what to do now. No one's going to give me a blueprint or a game plan. We're going to help you bridge that gap and give you that blueprint and that game plan and give you that structure so that you kind of feel like you're going to work every day for us, and we'll help you take that next step to actually being an entrepreneur in a couple months. So I think that's really important because most people's 9 to 5 don't have the mindset of entrepreneurs. They just don't. And we find that's what can be a real barrier to people, not necessarily the products themselves, but it's actually their mindset of, wow, no one here is to tell me what's perfect. I'm going to take some risks. I might lose some money. I may make some mistakes, and that's okay. So we provide that mindset support and just that support and that structure, coaching, course, one-on-one support done with you, really everything just full service to getting people's products launched on Amazon.
Nice. I really like the community feel, and accountability groups is key. I have that within my masterminds that I'm a part of, and we meet once a month, sometimes once a week for different groups, and just radically transparent, share on what's going on. So I really like that and appreciate a course angle that has that. What are the three to 5 most important things that an Amazon seller has to do in order to be successful? I know this is just a broad question, but in your experience from yourself and students that you've seen, what could be the 3 things that you could say you have to do this or have this in order to be successful?
Wow, there's a lot of things I could go into. I'll try to taper it down to 3. I think one is to just really get good at product sourcing. I always emphasize that to people. Like, you can't outsource every aspect of this business. I was talking to a guy yesterday who thought that we could do everything for him, and he didn't have to learn anything about Amazon. And I encouraged him as an entrepreneur, at least get some fundamentals down. Like, product research is key. If you know how to actually select and think like a seller on Amazon, you're going to be really successful. So buckle down and just get pretty good at product research. You don't have to be perfect. Even I select bad products sometimes on Amazon that don't work out for me. Buckle down and get good on product research. That would be one thing I would emphasize to folks. Number 2 is just to start with something pretty easy. My first product on Amazon was a used book. I just found a book in my house. I scanned the back of the barcode. I made like $1 on it, and I sent it into Amazon. Okay, business started, entrepreneurial mindset started. And if I hadn't had that sale, I think I would have struggled to take bigger leaps, take bigger risks. So start with something easy. Your very first product can just be something you sell around the house, takes a couple of days, get your feet wet. And the biggest one, Argan, is don't give up at the first sign of failure. Okay. I have built a multi-million-dollar Amazon company like you, and I failed so many times. I've lost money. I've had losses. I've wanted to give up at times, but people who are successful with this, they're persistent. Like they understand that failure is just a part of business. And, I think it's important to not have those blind spots around you, but to actually see, okay, this is normal. And if you're all by yourself doing this, it doesn't feel normal, but it's normal to have those failures and feel like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to quit? Am I supposed to give up? No, you're supposed to persist, and that's normal to experience the ups and downs, the horizons, the valleys and seasons of being an Amazon seller. So I think persistence. I think just coming in us with the spirit of persistence, that you're not going to get rich quick, but that you can actually build an asset, build something that's going to support you for a long time, and to grow slow as well. When I look back on my Amazon business, Argan, I really regret like rapid growth without sustainability, cutting out things that aren't sustainable in my business. But you have to have that that strong foundation to grow from.
Yeah, I like that. And obviously, there are people that give up. There has been products that I gave up on. There has been other things in my life that we give up on just because we think it's not for me anymore, or our identity. I think even that ultimately is okay, as long as we learn and take something from that, and then in the grand game of life, that we don't give up. I've had several friends that I've set up their Seller Central account, gotten their products, sourced it, shipped it to our warehouse, set up the listing. They've sold it, made some money, but they still gave up because it wasn't them. That wasn't what they wanted to do. But I think they learned something from that, and just it helped them overall in their career. So even that, it might be, go for it, do it. If it doesn't work out, learn something, and then add it to the next venture that they're going into. So I really like that. Okay, just a random question. If you could run any company in the world today, which one would it be?
That was a hard question, and I actually have been thinking about it for a while. I could not think of one company. I honestly have my dream job in e-commerce, but I would love, this is kind of a little secret about me, I would love to work at a fashion magazine or something really girly that was really fun, and I just got to do fun stuff all day. Like pick out clothes or pick out shoes. I hope some of the women out there relate to me. Like, we have to do hard stuff all day. Can we just do girly stuff sometimes? So I would probably work at like a fashion magazine where I got to wear pretty clothes and dress up and just do girly stuff all day. That'd be my dream job if money was no issue. And this is my calling though. And, I really believe we're put in places to help others through God putting us there. So my faith has driven me. And, but yeah, there's so many amazing companies out there. And I love to just watch some of the big players in our space, like Amazon sellers, like what they're doing. There's just so much opportunity. So.
Well, I have a few friends that are in the fashion space, and they're looking to get on Amazon. So hopefully, when they watch this, there can be a connection made, and you could venture into the fashion world and live their life, and then they could come into the Amazon space. Maybe there could be some bridge and synergy there.
That sounds amazing.
And I guess to wrap this up and segue into our last question. People who are interested in fashion, people who are interested in Amazon, e-commerce, selling, business, how can they connect with you? What's the best way to get introduced to what you're doing, who you're about? How can we connect?
Sure. Argan, I have tons and tons of free resources for people to check out. We've got the Private Label Mastery podcast. It's ranked in the top 1% of global podcasts. We have tens of thousands of people that listen to our podcast every week. So over 100 episodes on iTunes, Spotify, and Apple Music. Come check out our podcast. We've also got a Facebook group. It's called Amazon FBA Breakthrough. We have about 11,000 people in that Facebook group. So our whole team is in there every day. It's a free group. We love to just help and outreach and meet people who are anywhere in their Amazon journey. I've also got a book. It's called $1 Million E-Com Secrets. And if you want to know more about my brands and how I built them up and how I sourced my private label products, it's a really simple book you can read in one night. Go to www.ashleykinkead.com/ebook, $1 Million E-Com Secrets. And also Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm not a huge Instagram user, pretty busy lady, but you can DM me on Instagram, and I've got lots of content and reels over there about selling on Amazon. You can come check me out on Instagram.
Awesome. I love that. All right, guys, you heard it. Podcast, website, Instagram, Facebook group. I think that covers, if anyone has any questions that they don't want to ask or don't want to be public, they go listen to the podcast. If they learn by asking questions and being part of a community, you have a group. So I think there is starting to become no excuse to jump in and have some kind of success. Maybe no one starts off and is a 7-8 figure seller, but you can do 100,000 in sales within the first year. As long as we set a goal for ourselves, our minds gravitate quickly towards getting to that goal. So I think you've set up an amazing foundation in a program. I hope that more people can connect with you. I hope in the future we can connect, and we're already talking about some other stuff that we're doing. So I'm excited to work together. I'm excited to bring and connect people with you, and hopefully you can help them, and they can be some success stories for you as well.
Well, thanks, Argan. It's all about, I just love helping people. I love connecting people with this opportunity because that's what happened to me. That's how I got into e-commerce. Someone helped me. I saw their story. They bridged the gap. So I loved being here today, Argan. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ashley. We'll connect later.
Bye.
Bye.